Hello and welcome to our review of The Substance. It's classed as a dark comedy, horror, depends which part of the film you're watching. Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid. Now this gets bandied around a lot that there are career performances, but this is definitely Demi Moore's finest performance. She's never taken roles, as far as I know, that have greatly stretched her. She is outstanding in this film, and this film is, well, it's not for the faint-hearted, and it's one which will open your eyes in ways that you didn't expect. So Demi Moore plays a fading celebrity. If you think about, somebody who was a very famous movie star earlier in the career, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, who gets a bit older and as time passes gets fewer parts and then starts to do things like keep fit videos and things like that. There's a beautiful part in the beginning where we see the passage of time by the way her Hollywood star fades and cracks, and how it's initially seen by lots of visitors and then, it's just a pigeon or the street sweeper. And this sets us up for this. She hears Dennis Quaid as the slimiest television executive you're going to see. Wonder who he was based on. The detail in his character is quite phenomenal. He's wearing boots with Cuban heels that are made of steel, and you can hear that steel clanking when he's walking, and it's fantastic. But he is just about the sleaziest and slimiest person this side of Harvey Weinstein. He's just a disgusting character, and Demi Moore overhears him talking about her being too old and needing to be replaced. So this obviously sets her off on a concerning route, and she comes across The Substance. And what is The Substance? It's basically a new black market drug which, through cell replication, hang on here kids, creates a temporary younger, better version of yourself, with a couple of caveats, them being that you can only do it for 7 days, that you must switch after those 7 days, and that you remain one. Okay, so what happens to one will happen to the other, etc., etc. The first, it's 2 hours 14, so the first 1.5 hours are fairly standard. When I say standard, I mean by structure. The writing in this, and we'll come back to that in a minute, but the writing in this is just genius. It's fairly standard in its structure and the way it approaches the dark comedy, the horror, psychological horror element of getting older and wanting to be young, and then being able to be young, but do you want to go back to being old because the time limit's up? It's wonderfully made, and I think the thing that appealed to me the most is that it's obviously there are some nods to other franchises of the films, but this is just about the most original intellectual property that we've had in ages. We were lucky enough this year to have Longlegs, and Longlegs is a phenomenal film, but it is quite firmly based, in the realms of Silence of the Lambs, Seven, Fall, and there's lots of films where you can point at. The Substance less so. You can see a lot of kind of references that are almost to films. It ends up like, if you think about it, there's obviously links to, images relating to like Videodrome, the David Cronenberg film. I think Cronenberg would be ultimately, when you get to the end of the 2 hour 14, would be a really good, if you like Cronenberg, you'll like this film. Although I do suspect that the first hour and 45 minutes is better made than Cronenberg. So you've mostly got something like, maybe a bit Fincher-esque for the first hour and 45 minutes, and then it's like he just puts on a Cronenberg hat and you go, oh! It's original, it's inventive. What it does with the characters is just great. You see the decline of Demi Moore's character, and you see the rise of Margaret Qualley's character. Yes, they're both the same character, but it's easier for me to differentiate that way. You see that they are both affected by the same um, discriminations, bigotries, and then you start to see the greed of, wow, I'm in this young beautiful body. I want to stay in this young beautiful body, irrespective of the cost to the other body. And then when you're in the other body, you see the anger and despair of how the younger body's treated it. It's really clever. There's elements of Dorian Gray in there as well. If you're familiar with that painting in the attic which held all of his illnesses, and then when the painting's discovered, all of his illnesses go to him. Um, the last 30 minutes, I genuinely, it was jaw to floor. It was sitting here with my mouth open, catching flies, thinking, what the hell am I watching? Not in a bad way, not in a way where you're going, oh, this is just stupid, ridiculous, poorly written. What I'm watching, I did not see the film going that way. I'm glad that went that way, because it made an experience, something which is lacking from films and cinema nowadays. I will always remember the first time I watched this film. I can't say I'll always remember the first time I watched Beetlejuice, for example. It's a great film. It's a hell of a ride. It really is. The acting is just phenomenal all the way through. The direction, the set design, the lighting, everything is just great. The last 30 minutes, though, hold on to your hats. If you're at all squeamish, prepare yourselves. Get a pillow to hide behind, or your better half's arm or something like that, because there are a couple of testing scenes in there. But you get to the end and it's got this beautiful payoff. At least I thought it was beautiful. It's just all around a great film, a great experience. Love the fact that it was just so original, and there won't be a sequel, which is so nice to be able to say nowadays. And there won't be a prequel again, which is so nice to be able to say these days. It's just this beautiful, self-contained story of sadness, madness, greed, bigotry, consumerism, plastic surgery, all of those things which make Hollywood so laughable at the moment. I'm going to give it a solid 5 out of 5. 4 out of 5 for the film, an extra 1 for the experience. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I did. It was just an absolute classic. Enjoy.